Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here. Man, I can't believe it's 9:30 already. It seems like I just literally got up. I have been going since 6 o'clock this morning, and literally this is one of the few times that I've sat down. I mean, I've been in the workshop. You guys have seen me working on the stuff for Don and Sandra's house. You guys have seen me on the road. Let's see, where else have you seen me today? Well, of course, you've seen me sitting down here. Of course, giving you guys all the news on the Dallas Cowboys. And I got to tell you, I am so happy that tomorrow our team goes to Oxnard. That's it. We don't have to worry about the players being out and everything else because now it's all one big family. And this is the beginning of the marathon that is the 2019 season. I'm excited as can be. I'm a little bit sad because I'm not going to be able to go to training camp this year. Um, it's so nice to always meet you guys, the fans and things, that's as good as being at the games, just hanging out with my people and stuff. And I'm going to miss that this year because going to training camp, there's nothing else like that. Seeing the players on the field, working out and stuff, seeing them come in, seeing them going and everything else, meeting the fans that are all excited and proud about their team and stuff. I'm really going to miss that. But what it's done is, and this is because, it's got things you got to take care of. With the game, the Giant game being the first game of the season, which is only, 6 weeks from now. Um, and then, of course, the week after, having the tailgate, trying to get ready for those two events is just too much after paying for my truck. But it made me get focused. What it made me realize is I want to make sure I'm not in that position again that I have to worry about being able to go where I want to go, which means it makes me work that much harder to go ahead and get things done to make sure I've got a backup plan. Because if you don't have a backup plan, because in life, shit always happens. Your car's going to break down. You're going to get sick. You might lose your job. You might not be able to get much work and stuff. Something's going to happen, and you have to prepare for things to happen. And that's what I feel good about our team this year is, to me, we have depth. We got enough guys in there that you don't worry about losing just one, except maybe a quarterback. Now, we did end up signing one more guy and everything else, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Um, we'll see how it goes. But on to our topic here for the night, because, I'm going to finish this up and then get myself cleaned up and get ready to start tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a long day because, well, the Cowboys are going to Oxnard, and I got to go down the country and take care of some gutters and stuff, so I'm going to be on the road for about 300 miles. And the bad thing is it takes a long time when you're not here in the man cave to get stuff uploaded. So, I appreciate everybody keeping me up to date. And speaking of that, Emily Ann always keeps me up to date. So she sent me a message here letting me know that Jane Slater is reporting that things between Dak and the Dallas Cowboys are optimistic about getting a deal done at training camp. And here's the thing that I kind of think might be kind of interesting and kind of cool. And maybe we've kind of been getting some hints at stuff, okay? Because, we got Dak with the 135. Wouldn't it be kind of interesting if the 135 was the amount that he got for his contract? Well, I know some of you trolls are going to say that would be a nightmare, because I know that's what you guys do. You guys sit around waiting to talk trash about my quarterback. I just don't understand how a person who knows that they're an asshole can have 20 profiles and having backup plans because they know they're going to get blocked, but they're still going to keep going after it. That's a sickness. Brother, you got issues. But wouldn't it be interesting that 135 that's tattooed on his wrist ended up being the 135 that he got for his contract? So he's got a constant reminder that I've made it. I'm getting paid. But this is where I came from. They didn't believe in me. And every day he goes out there and he recommits to making that money and remembering where he came from, because that's key. Because if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. And when you have to work for something, it's that much sweeter when you get it. But here's another thing that people have been sharing with me all day, and I just haven't had time to get down here. We had the Zeke Elliott, the Zeke doesn't look like he's going to hold out. So hopefully that is the case. Hopefully that's being reported right now. But this is talking about my quarterback today on First Take.
Wentz or Dak Prescott?
Wow. I trust the guy that hasn't got paid yet, and that's Dak Prescott. There are two types, in my mind, there are two types of ability. Okay? You have the ability to play, the God-given ability, and then with that ability, you have to have the availability to play. Okay?
Throwing shade at Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz can change his style of play that way he can be available and show the availability. Because the last 2 years, the ACL, the broken back, we were a smidgen away from Nick Foles being a quarterback of this team. Okay, people in Philly that were wanting Nick Foles, they questioned ownership and leadership. Did you choose the right guy? Did you choose Carson Wentz over Nick Foles? And should it have been the other way? If you look at Dak Prescott and what he's done, I think he's the most disrespected quarterback in the National Football League. Because we talk about Zeke Elliott, we talk about the offensive line, but we refuse to give Dak Prescott his just due.
We need to say that again. You think Dak Prescott?
I think Dak Prescott is the most disrespected quarterback in the National Football League. Okay. Molly, he's at the end of his deal.
Yeah.
And we're debating, America's debating, do you pay Dak Prescott $35 million a year?
He has the second most wins in the NFL behind Brady.
And it's not the fact that we're debating that based on his time in line, because the way the NFL works is like this. You get paid based on your time in line and the availability of the money with your franchise. Okay, Dak Prescott is next in line. Okay, he's at the end of his fourth year on a 4-year contract. And I think the fact that we're having this debate shows you that not only, maybe not the Cowboys are disrespecting him, but I think the rest of the National Football League, because that's the question. All he does is win. He shows up. Is he the most accurate passer? No, but I think he's just as accurate as Carson Wentz. Can he run like Michael Vick? No, but he's shown he can move the chains with his feet. Okay, from a completion percentage, is he the most accurate quarterback? No, but his numbers are right there. He's played the Eagles. He's won. He's shown he can go into Philly and win. He's done that. I just think that when you look at the National Football League, particularly the NFC East, and when we pick who the best quarterback is, we get mesmerized by the MVP-type season that Carson Wentz was having before he tore the ACL. What could it be? We don't know. We always talk about what if. Here's what I do know. Dak Prescott led his team into the playoffs. Okay, he won a playoff game. Okay, I know he's done that. Has Carson Wentz shown he can do that yet? Has Carson Wentz shown he can take this team, put them in the postseason, and win the games that count? Because the regular season is cool, but you ask the Kansas City Chiefs how much the regular season matters. You got to do it when it counts in the postseason. So if you gave me a choice between the two quarterbacks, Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott, I'm taking the guy that I know is going to show up. It may not be the prettiest, it may not be the best, but I know he's going to be available, and I know he's going to play. And yes, so what that he has the best offensive line in football? So what that he's got the best running back? You still have to play the most important position at a high level, and he's done that.
You done lost your damn mind. If you, hypothetical, right now, we in a draft.
Yes.
And we got a board up, and I ask you who you taking. You the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Who you taking, Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott.
Who's the guy that you think is going to get you to the Super Bowl fast?
Dak Prescott.
Based on what I know now, I'm taking Dak Prescott.
Okay. All right. So let's go here. Carson Wentz has almost missed a season and a half more than Dak, right? Has three more touchdowns.
A season and a half. Wait. He hasn't missed a season.
The Philadelphia Eagles beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl with Nick Foles playing. You know the guy that set that up? Carson Wentz. When Nick Foles played the entire season, you know what happened to the Eagles? They didn't make it.
Hold up. We seem to forget about something. Now they did. They went on a good run. They played really well. But let's back this up a little bit here, because if you look at that schedule, they were playing a fourth place schedule. Okay, I'm not throwing shade on it and things like that, but they basically snuck up on people. Nobody thought the Eagles coming out of the basement were going to be that team, okay? So let's kind of pump the brakes a little bit. See, there was one quality win that you can really say that they got with Carson Wentz, and that was going into play the Rams and beat the Rams. Other than that, not so much. And there's a difference when you're talking about playing in the playoffs. But let's go on.
Here's the other thing. Bug, no, I don't. There is no disrespect to Dak. We all agree that Dak is a good quarterback. But you don't pay just a good quarterback $35 million a year. That's never been the MO of the NFL. Either you identify a guy that you said can take my franchise without all of these pieces around him, and he can elevate us to being a Super Bowl contender.
Wait. So explain that to me. I mean, I understand Andrew Luck being the highest paid. You know, he held the mantle. But then, you know, like Jimmy Garoppolo off of 8 games became the highest paid one. Were you sure that he was going to elevate him? Because I'm not so sure about that one. We know that Matthew Stafford at one time was the highest paid. Did we look and say that Matthew Stafford could put a team on his back and go to win the Super Bowl? Because I guess all these guys won, right? Did we look at Kirk Cousins and say Kirk Cousins, he could elevate a team and go win a Super Bowl? Because I'm looking at these, because all of these guys were top paid at one point in the NFL. But let's go back on.
Or you pay a guy a fair salary that needs parts around him. We need to stop acting like you.
Okay, wait. This is the thing that really pisses me off. Marcus Spears, you know, I've talked to you before. We were supposed to do a show and stuff together and all that. You my boy, and I'm hoping that this is just a company line that you're putting, because I get sick and tired of people always saying you got to put people around them. Because I got to tell you, if you look at Matty Ice, I would say that having Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, and Calvin Ridley around him are some people around him, right? Yet he didn't win the Super Bowl last year. So if he is a great quarterback, then how come he didn't elevate those great players to a Super Bowl? Everybody has to have players around them. How come Big Ben, you know, when he had Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, you know, and Juju Schuster all playing at the same time, how come he wasn't elevating them to a Super Bowl? And Aaron Rodgers, last time I checked, he only won 1 Super Bowl. So if your criteria is these guys can automatically play with anybody, then how come all these guys out there aren't winning? That is some bull crap. And I guarantee you, Matty Ice wouldn't have had 4,900 yards passing last year if he had taken the wide receivers we had to start the season with. But go on. Let's go on, Marcus.
You don't have to have good parts around Dak Prescott for him to perform at the level that everybody talks about him performing at. Amari Cooper, before he got on this team last year, we didn't know what the Cowboys' offensive identity was. And you give a quarterback $35 million, and we had no clue.
He's next in line.
But being next in.
You know what's funny is Amari Cooper was with Derek Carr, who was an MVP candidate in 17, and I believe he finished 3rd in MVP voting. And didn't that guy not do anything with him in the last year? Yet Dak elevated him from Derek Carr. Am I wrong on that? And Derek Carr was one of the highest paid players in the NFL. But let's go on.
You can't sacrifice a franchise building for a guy that you.
Okay, wait. See, this is a difference here. A franchise building. If you're looking at, say, the Washington Redskins, they're building. If you look at, say, the New York Jets, they're building. If you look at, say, Tampa Bay, they're building. Miami, they're building. But here's the thing. This whole thing that you got to have, damn, look at them bug eyes, that you got to have players to add. What players are you going to add? I mean, where are you honestly going to, where is this mass of talent that we need? Right now, our biggest problem is we can't keep the talent that we got. We're going to be cutting guys that are probably going to be starting at some point this season. We got too many young, talented people. We got Zeke. We got Amari. We got Dak. We got a Michael Gallup. We got Van Der Esch. We got Jalen Smith. You know, so where is this thing that we got to surround and we got to go out and get all these other people that we're building? You got a team right now that you should be able to win with. You know, if Bill Belichick had this talent, you would never lose a Super Bowl.
You don't know is going to elevate the level of play if you can't put all of these pieces around him. It's mind-boggling to me.
You think Jimmy Garoppolo should have got paid?
In San Francisco, the money he got?
He got that kind of money.
Nope. Not at all. But
it's the market. It goes back to that. He's next in line with the
They
market.
traded for him. They had to pay Jimmy. He was the next guy in line.
First of all, San Francisco was abysmal. That's number one. Number two is Jimmy Garoppolo came from the best franchise probably in the history of football.
He did.
Okay, and this is another one that drives me crazy. This stuff is just stupid. Because what is this saying? Okay, what quarterback has left San Francisco? In fact, quarterback or coach that's left New England and succeeded. You look at the Bill Belichick coaching tree, they've gotten jobs, but ain't none of them winning Super Bowls. Hell, they're not even going to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And as far as quarterback, we had Matt Castle. Matt Castle had one good year after leaving New England. Jacoby Brissett, what's he doing? What are these guys doing? So this thing is full of so much crap.
And they know that under the tutelage of what Josh McDaniels did, that he would have success and it would translate. That's, I love you, Molly, but that ain't.
I'm just
Dak
throwing it
has
out there.
proved,
Next in line.
All right. One thing Dak has proved, I got to have pieces around me for me to be considered in the elite conversation. That's what he's proved. Now, if we gonna knock Carson Wentz for injuries, why don't we do it for Andrew Luck? Nobody.
Okay, you know what? And this is the other thing that really, we keep thinking that Carson Wentz is elevating the team and that he is, God up here. Do you look at the receiver? Do you look at the talent base that's on the Eagles? I believe that they're rated the number one talented team in the NFL. And during that Super Bowl run, they were third in the NFL in running the football. Third in the NFL in running the football. Their offensive line, I got to say, was better than ours in 2017 by a mile. So this whole thing that people keep trying to knock my quarterback, and Marcus Spears, you're wrong. You're wrong, dog. Because there's no quarterback out there without an offensive line or a running back or some wide receivers that's out there just winning Super Bowls. This is the kind of crap that ends up creating so much hate against my quarterback. Because they keep thinking that as long as you have a great quarterback, he's automatically going to win. But I got to tell you, the only great quarterback that's winning on a consistent basis is Tom Brady.
It batted an eye when Andrew Luck got paid. You know why? Because they paid Andrew Luck based off the fact that Andrew Luck, when he played, can elevate his team to being a playoff and a Super Bowl contender.
Luck also took the Indianapolis Colts into Houston on the road in a playoff game. He showed up and showed out. So, yeah, I'm going to give Luck more credit because, once again, although you put a lot of stock in the regular season because it matters, it sets you up for the postseason. You know how this goes, man. We play for rings in this league.
No doubt.
We play in the postseason. Carson Wentz got to prove he can do that, and the Philadelphia Eagles made a choice. They said, you know what? If we want the best quarterback in this division, we're going to choose Carson Wentz over Nick Foles. Foles is now in Jacksonville. So we're going to see how that plays out. But as far as the better quarterback that's in the NFC East, I'm riding with Dak, and Jerry Jones has said he's going to pay him. Now, they want $35 a year. America is disrespecting Dak. If this was Russell Wilson, nobody would bat an eye. They're going to pay him, but they don't want to pay Dak for some reason.
I'll tell you what, if all of those questions I raised about Dak weren't true, he'd have $40 million.
Oh, please. Okay, you know what? I'm done with it. Now, and here's the other thing you got to understand, too. I believe it's the people around Carson Wentz and the system that they have. Much like Bill Belichick, because here's the thing that you got to look at with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick wins with every rookie quarterback. Every quarterback that gets the first start for him always wins. He has made it so it's interchangeable. Even when Tom Brady missed 4 games, they still won. And you can look. I'm going to be honest with you. Nick Foles went on a hell of a run with the Eagles. But Nick Foles has always been a streaky. Nick Foles is not a great quarterback, per se. Now, he played well when he needed to. But you look at his careers, it's not on the elite level. But yet, he stopped in and they didn't miss a beat. To me, that kind of says maybe a lot of that is the system that they're playing on. But we'll find out this year how he does in Jacksonville, and we'll see how Carson Wentz does this year. But as always, guys, I went in a little overtime here. I want to thank you for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. I'll see you soon.